Hello everyone. Good morning and good evening to all. Let us start our today's session. In our yesterday's session, we have seen how the project architecture, how we will work on the real-time environments. So if you ask me, so normally how we will get the data? See, most of the project, we will have this SFTP here, right? So the source system, if the vendor is placing the files, it will be placed into SFTP. So if the interviewer asks, so how will you get the source file? Okay, so you can tell them like source file we used to get with the SFTP. So one common environment accessible path will be there for the external sources, external vendors and our team. So they will place the file in this particular locations. Okay, so from here you can directly connect with IICS. You can get the data. Okay, or you can have some script to download the file to our local ETL server, and then from ETL server you can consume the data. So it's like a different way. So they will be placing all the files in the SFTP folder or the Dropbox, okay, or drop zone or whatever it may be. A secured file transfer protocol only they will place. So if it has more PII data, so PII, you know, right? Personal identification information. If I have more PII data, they will encrypt and decrypt the data. Okay. So encrypt and decrypt the data. So they will encrypt the file, place the file here, and we have to consume. After that, we have to decrypt the file. So for the decryption, yes, we have to use uh, some keys. We have to decryption key we have to use, decrypt the file, and we will process it. So this is all about the file system. So what is the file we will get? Normally, incremental file we will get it. So very first time, if the data is we are going to process it, or history load we are going to do it. So we may get full load, right? Full load we will do it. There are three different loads. I will tell you what is that load. So we'll get entire data. After that, we'll get incremental data like a delta extract. They will extract it. The source team, they will extract only delta data. Then from the delta data, we will load it. So what is delta? I will tell you. Okay, so delta means you are getting that particular data alone. Okay, so for an example, if you are going for one particular day, so that particular day alone, we used to get the data from source. Okay, so this particular data alone we will get. So whatever we are loading into this target, this particular delta data, we will call it as it's a delta extract. Okay, so that particular time period, it's like a 1 day, 1 hour, 4 hours, 6 hours. It depends. Okay, so like so that particular data alone, we used to get it here, and we will load it into our environment, our EDW environment. If you take this particular EDW environment, so definitely you can go for EDL, so Enterprise Data Lake. Okay, that's what we are going for mostly on the IICS. So you have EDW also. So Enterprise Data Lake, Lake House. So we'll call it as Lake House, all this. EDL is nothing but Enterprise Data Lake. So Enterprise Data Lake, yes, we can have, if they ask, okay, have you worked on any um, have you worked on any cloud environments? Yes, you can tell them like if you have experience on any cloud environments like Snowflake or any other environments. Okay, like if you have experiences on AWS, Snowflake, GCP, Azure. Okay, so some cloud if you have big data environments, you can tell them. Okay, so this enterprise data warehouse, yes, we have the enterprise data warehouse. So initially we use so different name they will call it as. So sometimes they will call it as enterprise data warehouse. Sometimes they will call it as enterprise data lake. Sometimes they will call it as it's enterprise lake house. So different terminologies they will keep it. So we will not directly extract the data and load it into this environment. We do have a lot of staging. Okay, so if I have separate QA environment, like a separate QA staging, say for an example, I want to do some data quality. So we have to do some data governance, data quality, data profiling we have to do. So all this, that means we are testing the data, validating the data, whether the business validation, we will do it. Okay. So basic level of business validation, we will do it here, and then we will load it. Otherwise, okay, so after loading the data here, so we may do the validation. It depends. Okay, so it depends on the different teams. Some project architecture will have here a QA stage. Say for an example, it's a QA stage. It's nothing but they will do all the validation here. Okay, so all the validation, and they will put the file here. From the file to QA stage, it will be loaded. Here the validation will be uh, validation job will be running here, and then it will load all the validated data into another table. Okay, other data it will reject those data, and the rejected data will be reported to the source team. So this is what normally it will happen. It depends. Okay, so on the project architecture. So you can tell them. So from this particular QA stage, we will take the data to our staging layer, our enterprise data warehouse staging layer. So here we will have a lot of different layers. So you can say like it's heterogeneous sources. We will get it as I have already explained yesterday. It might be a staging layer. We will land the delta data to this particular layer, and then we will do a lot of intermediate layers like level 1, level 2, level 3, or intermediate work layer 1, work layer 2, all this. Then the data will be moved to the last layer, semantic layer. After that, the data will be moving to the data mart. See here, I have the data mart here. So finally, we will have the data mart. So particular subject areas, we will load the data. So like for an example, I want to have business analytics report only for this particular subject area. So all this data needed for this particular reports alone, it will get loaded here. Okay. Merchant reporting. Yes, we have the merchant reporting data mart. So that particular data alone will get loaded here. Okay. So data mart will have different subject areas. Based on the subject areas, it will get loaded. Okay. So from this data mart, data will be consumed by downstream reporting team. Okay, business analytics team. Different teams will be consuming the data. So you can explain them this enterprise data lake we have on the any cloud system. Like you can have AWS. If you are saying that AWS, it's like a Redshift. Yes, we will load it into the Redshift. So you can have like GCP. GCP is like you can have the big queries, and we can have Azure data load. So inside AWS also we do have the glue, right? So it's like a ETL. So some teams they will do ETL process by glue. Sometimes they will do all the ETL process by using IICS itself. Then we do have Snowflake. See, like Snowflake, we have Netezza, we have a lot of other system we have. At the end of our so today's session, I will show you one architecture, how we are fetching the data and we are loading in the data to target. Even in the source, we do have different source systems, right? So heterogeneous sources we are going to read. We may have the data from Teradata, we may have the data from other source system like Oracle, SQL Server, and we may get the data from front-end applications. Okay, so third-party applications, you can get it. So directly through API calls, like applications you can have it, or you can go for Salesforce. So different applications, you can get the data, like any RDBMS, yes, you can get the data, and you can get the data from cloud also. Okay, so you can get the data from cloud also. This is external vendor. Okay, external vendor, we are getting the data as a flat file. Okay, so different kind of source systems, we are fetching the data from the source. We will call it as the heterogeneous sources. Okay, heterogeneous sources. We are getting the data. So we will load the data into QA stage. From the QA stage to data will get loaded into the enterprise data warehouse. From here, it will move on to different levels. Okay, so different levels. See, this architecture little bit vary from project to project. So they will directly, some project, they will directly move the data from here to the staging layer here. This is the enterprise data warehouse staging layer. So staging layer, always I told, it's like we have the truncate and load, right? So truncate and load, only initial load will have full data. After that, we will have only incremental data. So like extract, whatever the extract we are getting from the source, it will be a delta extract. Okay, so you can go for delta extract, or you can go for full load if it is initial load, or if it is his, history load you are going to do, then you will have full data will extract. Okay, so you can extract the way. So full load, so you can load it from here, or delta load. Okay, and this is what staging. So for the staging layer, source will be our all the heterogeneous sources, and we are loading it here. After that, this will be your source. Okay, staging to work layer one. Okay, work layer one. This will be source. This will be target. Again, so we will do a lot of transformation logic here. So what kind of transformation logic? And say for an example, I'm buying a product. Okay, I'm buying a product. Then I'm going for the your card transaction will be authorization state or pending state, right? So authorization state means first they will authorize, they will block your money. After that, they will contact your. It depends. Okay, so different countries will have different regulations based on the country's regulation. So some mandatory field we do have, and depends on the countries and regulations and people and data how we are managing. So everything like a ETL logic. So that ETL logic will apply. So first it will be like a pending state, then it will go for approved state, then the the money will get deducted from your account, then it will go for they will go for order delivered. You might be raising a dispute, and the reversal it might be processing it. It will get reversed. So lot of uh, status changes will be happening in the data, right? So all this we have to capture here, and we have to process it. This is one example I'm saying. Lot of other examples are there. Okay, so lot of tables will be there. Not only like one or two tables. It's like thousands of tables will be there in the real-time project. So each and every tables, each and every logic, different logic, we will get from the our business analytics team. So from the business analytics team, sorry, business analyst team. Okay, business analyst are the product owner or our delivery manager. Okay, so from our client, we may get the data. Business owners, system owners, we will get the data. Based on that, we will be creating the ETL load for our system. Then it will be consumed. It will be loaded to the last layer is called semantic layer. A semantic layer means all the views will be created. Say for an example, this is our like this is not our ETL load. This is not our ETL load. It's like only views. Say last layer, if it is a views, so views will get refreshed here. Okay, so mostly like materialized views. Okay, so this kind of views will get refreshed. If it is different server, yes, we'll go for materialized view for the CDW. So we'll have to like we are running one report. In another regions, we are running one report. For another regions, we will have materialized view will be creating it. So here we'll go for this layer, we will call it a semantic layer. Okay, semantic layer. It's like nothing but views will be created. So here it is like a core layer. Okay, core layer. So core layer, all the core tables will be available. We will not give any access to anyone outside of the um, even inside of the network. We will not give access to this core tables. Okay, so only system knows it. That's it. System only will get inserted, updated the data into the core tables. All other remaining consumers should consume the data through views only. So that's what we will do. Something like interface layer or views layer, something we'll call it as. This is work layer. We can have n number of work layers. Even in between, data will be flowing to one particular team to another particular team, like based on the dependencies. Yes, our source team will load the data. So after they are loading the data, they are processing the data for a particular day. We have to process it. If they are delaying it, our ETL load also will get delayed. So it depends. Okay, so in layer we will in that team, if you have any issues, yes, we have to contact them. What happened to the today's load? That's what we will have the event weight, all the dependency we will have it between the teams. Okay, so this is what the architecture we will have it in our real-time project. Most of the project will be running on this architecture. When you are going to explain this architecture, this is what you have to explain them. Okay. So if you ask me, what are the different loads types we have, right? So as I told, so first one is initial load. So what is initial data load? Initial data load. If the process you are performing very first day, initially we have to extract all the data from the source, right? Very first time. So that is what initial load. Then historical data load. Sometimes the source team, they will do historical data loading. Okay, they will refresh the data in the source. They will have they will refresh the data in the source. Then we have to pull the data. One-time activities, we have to create the logic. Normally, we will go for incremental data load. That mapping, we will take it. And only SQL queries, we will change it. We will deploy it, and then we will run it one time. Mostly like Saturday, Sundays, we will run it. It will get loaded. So very less ETL frequency whenever we have. That time we will load it. All the historical data will get loaded. Then we will have delta extract. So what is delta extract? See, very first time you have extracted all the data, and daily the data is getting inserted or updated in the source system, right? So one customer is ordering the product, new customer we are adding. So it's different, okay? Difference in the banking system. Yes, new customers adding, new customers buying a mutual fund, equity funds. All this they are buying it, and all this are data, the source system applications, right? So all this we have to consume and we have to take. But if it is daily load, so daily load based on the source qualifier query, the source query, the based on the batch date, we'll call it, it's a batch date, um, data date. Okay, so batch date, uh, data date are different dates. Okay, we will call it as different teams. They will have different names. Data date. So based on this date, we will pull the data from the source. It's like a 1 day load, daily load, right? Daily load or intraday load. That delta data alone. Okay, I hope you are clear what is delta I'm referring. So this particular interval timing, okay, so from yesterday's date to this particular date, or 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. So half an hour window or 1 hour window or 1 day window. This window, whatever the data has been committed here, so that data alone we are pulling, that is called delta extract. So from the source we will extract. After that, we are loading here in the core layer. We are loading already the data is available here, right? So we are loading that new data to this particular table, right? Alone, this alone we are loading it. Means we are merging the data, like we are inserting the data or updating the data. So we are changing it, right? Status, we are changing all this. This particular data load, we will call it as it's an incremental load. So this is stage load. Stage load always truncate and load. Incremental load, we should not do any truncate and load. So this will be your incremental data will get loaded. It depends on the tables, like a dimension table, fact table, any table you are doing it. A dimension table normally will go for SCD type 2 date method. So that's what it will get loaded. Okay. So based on the business logic, this is what it will get loaded. So there are different types of load types. They will call it as in real-time projects, right? So we'll call it as it's incremental load. Incremental load. So that's what we will call this architecture. So do you have any questions here? Okay, I hope you are clear. Uh, I think you do not have any questions. And if you see this, have you gone through this particular documents, like different teams I have mentioned? Difference between incremental, yeah, both are similar. Okay, incremental means we are incrementally loading the data. Delta also, it is incremental data load only. Both are similar. There is no differences. Okay, normally we will call it as delta extract from the source. Okay, delta load means this particular time period, whatever we are loading it. So that is what we will load. Okay, both are similar. It is not a difference one. While extracting the data, we will call it as the delta extract. Okay, I hope you have gone through this particular document. So different different documents we are preparing. Okay, in agile methodology, I hope you might be working on already agile methodology. So we know most of the projects are moved from normal conventional model to agile model, right? They have moved. So in agile model, like previously we used to have all this sequential, right? Sequential execution one by one, like a requirement to design, then design to development, development to testing, testing to validation phase. All this validation done, we will go for the deployment. One by one we'll move. But here, all the requirement we will split up into different agile team, Scrum team. So based on the Scrum team, we will get different teams, like small team, we will get it. And from the epic, we will create one epic for this particular requirement. So it comes under one project manager, right? So it comes under one project manager or the delivery manager or senior technology officer. It depends on the project. They will call it as a different name. So from here, we will go for parallel execution. Like one team, yes, one team, Scrum team one, Scrum team two, Scrum team two. We this way parallelly they will execute the process within the particular Scrum team. We will have some number of people, like one product owner. Yes, they will have. They know uh, uh, business, all the business. Then they if I need any help on the business, yes, we have to contact the product team or the business analyst. So product team or the business analyst are, and you will be having a developers. A lot of developers will be there, and one scrum master. A scrum master might be a developer. Okay, so developer might be a scrum master. So they will be handling the scrum team, and as well as they will be developing it. So the senior level folks will be there, like a scrum master or some particular project. Separate scrum master role will be uh, played. Okay. And if you see the agile team, we might be getting the requirement from your business analyst, system owner, as a ETL developer from whom we will get the data. So from the business analyst, business system analyst, system owner from the client side, product owner from the client side, and the business owners. So these members will interact with their stakeholders. Okay, what needs to be done, and they will collect all the information. They will convert the business into like a technical design. From that, we will get the data. So they will create a user stories from the Epic. It's like a requirement. From the Epic, they will create a user stories in the Jira. So Jira is like on board. It's like a tool. From the Jira, they will create a lot of user stories. Right. So from the user stories, so they will be creating a lot of different user stories. User story one, it requires some 4 stories. User story two, it requires some 5 stories. Okay, this will be a 5 stories, and some teams will have only 9 stories. Some team will have 10 stories. So like each person will get 10 stories out of it. It might be a 4 plus 5 plus 1, 3 plus 3 plus 4. Different way we might be getting it, or 10 story itself for each and every person's. So what is story actually? We'll be working in agile. We'll be working on a sprint basis, right? Sprint basis. So one sprint is nothing but 10 business days. Most of the project will have 10 business days. So this particular business days, for an example, from Wednesday to next Tuesday, this Tuesday. Okay, this Tuesday. This Wednesday to this Tuesday, we'll have one sprint. Yesterday we have started. You assume that yesterday we have started the sprint. So while starting the sprint, this day we are starting it. And this particular day, this Tuesday, we will have the demo of the previous sprint. Whatever we have done so far on this, from this Wednesday to this particular Tuesday, it's like a one sprint. Whatever we have done, to accept the stories, we have to demonstrate. We need to give the demo to team saying that this is what I have done. Okay, it will be starting from Wednesday, it will end by Tuesday. It's like 10 business days. Each day will have one story point. It's like 8 hours, and the 6 hours for development, 2 hours for meeting. So it's little bit differs from project to project, the way they might be working, but this is the normal way of working. Okay. So if you are going to explain, yes, if you are already working on the sprint, yes, same thing you can explain them. So we are working on the agile methodology. We used to get the requirement as a user stories. The user stories will be assigned to our name. Then we will discuss on daily basis on the Scrum call. Okay, we will have the Scrum call daily. So maximum you can have the 11 members. Okay, so one product owners. Yes, you will have the naming convention maybe differs from project to project. We'll be having a product owner. He knows the business very well. One Scrum master and one business analyst. Maximum 8 or 9 developers. Okay, so including the BA business analyst will have. Business analyst will give the data to the technical team. The technical team will develop the ETL code, ETL mapping. They will test it. They will deploy the code into production. So in the agile methodology, there is no downtime required. Anytime you can deploy the code into production. So we can deploy it. Okay. So totally 10 story point for each team member, and it might be a 9 story point. It might be a 10 story point. It's based on the project. So we do have the customer success manager. It's nothing but the client side. Okay. The Scrum team to stakeholder. Say, for an example, the customer success manager is one role, or business owner, or the system owner, I told, right? So, like, they will be interacting with the stakeholders to get the business requirement. They will be converting the business requirement. They will be passing this requirement to our business analyst. Business analyst, okay, these are all the priority task for the next sprint or next quarter. This needs to be done. Uh, so they will estimate it. Okay, so if I want to complete this particular task, how many sprint it's needed, how many members are needed, with along with the retrospective call. Okay, so we do have different calls. Retrospective call, they'll be analyzing it. Okay, this is how brainstorming. They'll go for which one is priority task. Okay, so which one we have to take? How many members are there in the Scrum team? Um, how can we implement? How can we proceed? What is the life cycle? So all this they will analyze it. They will come up with a plan. They will execute it. So sprint planning, yes, I have mentioned sprint planning. For an example, yesterday we have started the sprint, and this Monday we'll have the sprint planning for next sprint. Okay, always this Monday we will have alternate Mondays, like this Monday, 3rd, and then 17th Monday. This 3rd Monday will have sprint planning for next sprint. They will discuss in the call, like, next sprint you are going to work on this particular task. Okay, this is what you have to do. All this they will explain to the each and every team members. Okay, this is what priority, this is what you have to do. You have to go to this particular team, you have to ask them, you need to get the details. If you're stuck somewhere, let us know. All this they will guide us. Okay, that the delivery manager or ETL lead, they'll be guiding us, each and every team members. Okay, it might be a client team. If you are a service-based company, the client team, they will be giving us the direction. We have to do it. So daily stand-up meeting. Yes, daily you'll be having a different timing. We'll have that stand-up meeting like 11 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m. It's like onshore, offshore coordination. So everything will be there. So that's what we will go for the sprint stand-up meeting. Daily, we'll have discussion on the project progress. And Jira, so Jira is a tool, will capture all the requirements, progress, and everything. So for an example, today I'm doing one task. I'm creating a ETL mapping by looking at the STTM document, STTM source to target mapping sheet. So by looking at the document, I'm creating one mapping. Okay, so today 8 hours spent on the development of the mapping. So that should be captured in the Jira ticket. I have to create a task for that. Okay, so I'll be capturing all this on the Jira, and I'll be making that progress. Okay, so this is what I have spent today, and 8 hours, 6 hours I spent for this, 2 hours I have spent for this. So all this I will be capturing. Okay, this way, like task management, so to do and doing and in progress and done, all this you will capture it. So if you take, this is the one Jira board, you can see here the members will be available here, and this is the task number. Okay, so task, or it might be a bug, or it might be issue. We will call it a different way. So whenever you are starting your work on the particular task or user stories, so that should be marked as in progress. Once you have completed, you have to make it like done. After that, Scrum Master or the project manager, they will be accepting it. Before closing the sprint, they should accept all the tasks. Okay, so they'll be having the first, we will call it the backlog. They'll be getting the backlog. From the backlog, they will be creating a lot of user stories. From the user stories, we have to pick it up. And each and every members will have some 3 to 4 tasks. It's end of the day, we need to have 10 story point. So that's what we used to have. Okay, if you go to this particular document, I have given some particular task here. I have given some. So if you go to Jira, so how the Jira will be look like, see here, for this particular member, in this particular task, we have assigned 5 story point. Okay, it's in the to-do state. And after that, while he's starting working on that, he will mark this particular task to in progress. Inside one story point, he can create multiple tasks, mention that, okay, this is what I have done for today. And these many tasks I have completed, all this you can make it daily. Once it is completed, he will mark that particular task as done. And from here, so all the Confluence page and everything he has to attach it in the existing sprint, this particular Jira user stories. So if you go through this particular document, you'll be getting all the details about your sprint planning, agile, and everything. Okay, version management, backlog grooming, sprint planning. They're explaining like what is the advantage of this Jira software. Okay, story points, a Scrum board. Scrum board look like this, and daily they will open the Scrum board, Scrum Master. They will go through each and every members. We need to update the status to the team. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I have stuck somewhere, and I need some help. So those things we have to explain to them. Then they will guide us how to proceed with this. Okay. So this is what it will go. After that, it is very easy to take the report as well. Okay, during the sprint, after the sprint, and everything it will be captured here, and it is very easy to track the progress. Okay, so if you have some time just to go through this, what is the daily Scrum meeting, stand-up calls, and custom dashboards, and what is the retrospective with Scrum reports. So if these things we can analyze it very quickly by using the Scrum. Okay, so just to go through this particular document and the Jira and everything, you'll get very clear idea what is the Jira and how we will work on. Okay. Any questions on the Agile? So user stories means task to be done. Yes, correct. Okay, they will assign some number. So I have shown you right, some numbers. That's it. We will call it as a user stories, task details, project to project. This naming convention little bit differs. Okay, but normally we'll go for user stories. They will explain, okay, this is what you have to do for this particular sprint. It needs, okay, ETL development on user story. Okay, testing into QA, QA testing. It's one story point. It will be assigned to another person. Whatever we have done, that might be tested by another person. So within the team itself, we can do peer review. Okay, so you are doing the development, peer review. They will assign it one task. Okay, you do the peer review for this particular task, whatever he's doing. Okay, junior member, he is creating the task, working on this ETL development. As a senior member, you just do the peer review. One task will be assigned to you. Some 3 to 4 tasks will be assigned for him. The story point. Okay, so that's what normally we will work on the real-time project. Sprint planning, yes, we will plan the capacity. Okay, based on the capacity, based on the priority and requirement, we will plan it. Okay, this particular sprint, these are all the tasks. And agile, anytime you can accommodate the changes, right? So agile methodology, it's like a sprint model we are working on. Anytime if new changes comes, we will park the existing one. We can take the urgent one. So it's like that's what more flexible, more automated way, and no, there is no downtime required. So for this, so just to go through what is agile methodology, get some idea about agile methodology, it will be easy. So if you have more content, okay, to speak, then you can speak fluently in the interview. Then the interviewer will get convinced. Okay, you have definitely you have real-time experiences. Okay. If you are not able to complete any task, it will be carry forward to the next sprint. And that's what we will go for. Okay. And yeah, so different teams we have. And if you ask what are the different tools we will use in our real-time projects, like cloud ETL, yes, we are using IICS. They are going to rename it like IDMC. Okay, so you might be hearing about after some time IDMC. It's like Intelligent Data Management Cloud. Okay, and ETL tool, yes, Informatica Power Center. You can mention that version, latest version to whatever the version you have worked on. From latest to previous versions, you can mention. If you have any reporting tool experiences like Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, all this you can mention. So, what is your latest the version? Okay, so now 2023, what is the latest version? You can mention here. And databases, whatever the databases you have worked on, PostgreSQL, Oracle 21C, 81C, 18C, and SQL Server, Teradata 16, Snowflake, all this. Cloud, yes, as I told, if you have any cloud knowledges, right, you can mention that AWS, not all the service, at least S3, Redshift, these things. Okay, so what the ETL developer will use, you can go through that particular services alone and have the confident on that particular services. So how to create it, and you can use your own account, personal account, to practice it. Okay, S3 and all they will not charge it up to 5 GB, right? So definitely you can use it for 5 GB. GCP you can use it for some threshold values. Yes, go through that. You will get clear idea. If you have already worked on Azure, you can have the knowledge. And Hive, Hadoop environments if you have. Yes, all this you can mention here. And other tools. Okay, so these are all the tools you have to mention. I have already given you the document mentioning all this on tabular column I have mentioned, and you can get the details. Okay, so other tools. So what is the Jira tool? It's Jira for all the progress. By using the Jira, you can create a task, assign it to somebody else. For an example, you have the production support team. We have to create a task for them. Okay, to get some repository queries. Yes, you can create a task, assign it to them. They will take that, they will do it. You need to do some masking the data. We have to deploy. After masking, you have to deploy it. So you have to raise one task through Jira or ServiceNow. ServiceNow is a ticketing tool, right? So all the service request, incident, problem ticket, CR, change request, all this will be captured here. A change request will go into this phase. If you have still, if you are working on the change request model, everything, it will go one by one. It will start from starting and then approval state. Then it will go for requirement, design, development, by phase, it will move the change request. Then problem ticket. What is problem ticket? If you if you are working on the production support, so you might be getting the same issues multiple times, when they will ask you to raise a problem ticket. I have I have given you 1.5 hours video for the production support. So kindly go through that production support video. I have already sent it to you all. It's like 1.5 hours video. I have explained. So how to backtrack the ETL flows and everything I have mentioned. What are the different documents we will prepare for the production support team? I have explained it. So please go through that video. It will be very helpful for you. I have already sent with email. Okay, all the content. Then you'll be preparing the Confluence page. It's simply a Confluence page. So previously we used to have more documentation, right? But now we are not doing that more on the documentation. We are going for the Confluence page. It will be looking like this, and you'll be creating the document here. That's it. You'll be creating a new document. They will be giving you the access. You have to create a new document. So like this, you'll be having it blank page you can create. And whatever, say for an example, this particular sprint number, this one, I'm doing this particular task. For this, this is the source system. You have to go there, and this is the query you have to execute, validate. And if anything goes wrong, these are all the system. We have to check the data. Okay, validation, all this. So just to create one page and save it. Take this particular page, assign it, update in the Jira task, whatever you are working on. This is simply a page, that's it, on Confluence page. Okay, so how we are writing the blogs and everything, right? Same way, you'll be creating one page, and you'll be mentioning that whatever you have done so far. All this will be maintaining here. And we do have something like this SharePoint. SharePoint is the place where we will keep all the documents. It's like a common place. We will place all the documents. It is not the person dependent. Everything is for common for everyone. Then Putty. So Putty, if I want to connect with any uh, Unix server, right? So how will you connect with Unix server? You will go for Putty for Unix. You'll be having something like this, right? You'll be connecting, you'll be mentioning the server name, and you'll be click on open. It will open like this, and you'll be SSH into the particular server. And so you'll be having some LDAP password and everything. So after authentication, it will go inside. Then you'll be checking, okay, so whether the file has arrived or not, the file system, all this you'll be checking it. Okay, this is what we will use. Putty is a tool to connect with our servers. So if I want to move the data from one server to another server, okay, so one server to another server, we will use WinSAP, right? WinSAP for file transfer. So you'll be looking like this. It's like if you go to the real-time project, yes, you'll be seeing this kind of one. Right hand side, you can connect to one server. Left hand side, you can have another server or your local machine. You can move from one environment to another environment, but production, you will not have access. So definitely production environment, you will not have access, but dev environment, you will have access to move the file from here to here. Say for an example, this is my local and to some server. I'm just copying all the files and moving it. So this particular WinSAP tool will be used for moving the file. Okay. So you have to mention this way. So what is your server name and all this? You have to connect with the server. So these tools and scheduler. Scheduler, we can do the IICS scheduler. So I will explain. You know, right? This IICS scheduler, you can schedule it and you can go for email task and everything. It will be emailed. And a deployment, yes, we will be using the deployment. Like one tool is called Ansible Tower and Jenkins. And version control, we will use the Git. So what is this? For an example, we have developed our ETL logic. We have developed our ETL logic. So just I'm going to, this is our development environment. We do have the servers and we are going to extract whatever we have. So like a development to QA, QA to UAT, UAT to production. Okay. So different environments. Then the development environment, you'll be having ETL code, right? ETL code. It will be taking like, so ETL, you'll be having it. Still, you might be working on Informatica Power Center also. Like you might be taking that .xml file, and if it is Informatica, or you might be taking that .zip file. Okay, so it's a complete artifact. You'll be taking it. And this is for ETL, IICS or Informatica Power Center, and SQL, .SQL file. So if you have any DDL, DML, yes, you have to take the SQL files, and you have to have like a big script. If you have any automation script, I want to create the parameter in the runtime, parameter file in the runtime. Yes, we'll go for some script here. Still, all the source qualifier queries and the source queries in IICS also, it will be parameterized. Definitely will be passing the data to the source qualifier. It's like a parameter only to get the data from source side, delta extract. Whatever the batch state we are going to run, based on the batch state, we will extract it. That and scheduler. Okay, scheduler, I will explain tomorrow. So how we will schedule it and in the IACS, all this I will explain it tomorrow. So that you will get a clear idea about scheduler if they ask. So how will you schedule the your project? So all this you will be creating, you'll be taking, and in your local you are keeping it. Okay, and we have to create a build for this. So go to your Git. Okay, so you might be opening the Git through command prompt, or you can open via Git also. Whatever the build you have taken, the artifact you have taken, that should be created on. You have to create one build. So as I have mentioned earlier, so you'll be having a main branch, like master branch. So in order to work with, you'll be creating a different branch, right? Each and every user, each and every developer will be creating a separate branch from the Git. So you can get some Git command. Okay, so you can go through some Git command for creating the examples or this particular sheet. Okay, so you can have here, and if you see this, so like git init, git add, git commit. Okay, so you can finally you'll put the git commit, git push is the you are pushing your code to your branch, and then you are first you are doing the git clone. Okay, so if you are going to change anything from the existing one, you clone it from the master. Okay, this is what you'll be creating a branch. You clone it from the master branch, take all the code here, and you upload whatever the changes you have done it here. So that will be, you can put the git status. It will show you what the difference you have done from the existing one to your new code. And from here, you can do the git push and merge into the master. Then you'll be getting one artifact link. So with this link, you'll be using this link to the this Ansible tower. Say for an example, this Ansible tower is one of the deployment tool we have mostly the project will use. Jenkins, they might be using it. A different uh, deployment tool you might be using in your project. Okay, if you do not have any tool, you can tell them like Ansible tower, we are using it. It's like whatever the artifact link we have taken, right? It's nothing but it will load all this into one package and it will create one artifact here. That particular repository link we'll provide here. We will choose the destination environment, like QA environment, right? QA environment, all this. Uh, then it will get deployed here. Then we have to run this QA ETL load. We have to check whether it is pulling the data from QA source system to QA target system. It is moving the data. This ETL load will take it from here to here. Here we'll have the QA data, right? QA data. So whether if it is completed, if they are going to raise a Jira, okay, you have some separate team, QA team. If they are finding some issues over here, they will raise a defect. Okay, they will raise a defect here. So we do have defect management, defect tool, right? So defect, they will create the defect through Jira. So if you have Jira ticket, yes, Jira, they will raise it, or they will create like ALM, application lifecycle management, right? So we have HP ALM, application lifecycle management. It's an older tool only, but still companies are using this particular tool. But nowadays, most of the project, they are using Jira itself. They will create an issue in the Jira. They will assign it to the corresponding developer. Developer needs to fix it. Again, they need to go for redeployment. So while doing the redeployment, they will take the latest code from the QA. They will merge this particular latest one and they will create another build. So this build, the latest build, we need to take it for the next environment. Same way, it will go for the another environment. It might be a UAT environment, user acceptance testing, or SIT environment, or a different terminology we will call it as it's a pre-production mock environment. Okay, so mock environment, all this we will call it as. Then secure environment. So different environments we will call it as. Then it will go to the next environment. This environment is called production. Okay, this is what the production migration will happen. So you have to do dry run. Dry run means you are going to do one run here. And so in between, if you have any cab, so yes, we'll be having a cab approval. So what is cab approval? So cab approval means change advisory board approval. They will approve it. In our previous project, we do not have any cab approval. So all these are like a validation tool. All this, it will be even the Jenkins itself, it will go and deploy and it will validate. It will take some 3 to 4 hours. It will validate all the use cases and it will say like, okay, it's completed automated process and everything. They will check like whether you have given the source qualifier query as a parameterized one and connection is parameterized one, whether you are following that caching, all this are auto. So they will do a lot of validations in the infrastructure as well as code practices. Then they will give the sign off. It will be moving to the production. So go live. Yes, some particular team. Yes, we do have the go live separately. We will have some particular team. We do not have any go live time. Anytime you can deploy it in the production. Since we are in the EDW, right? So anytime you can do it, no issues. This is what we will be doing it. Okay, that's what we'll have. These tools, Ansible Tower, the Olympus is like internal tool for the deployment. We'll use it. Jenkins, these tools. Okay, so GitHub is version control or deployment tool. It's a version control tool. Okay, version control tool. like it will have all the latest version. Okay, so what is version control? See, in our project, so many members will be there, right? So many members will be doing it. You will be doing some changes, he will be doing some changes. Always he has to take the data from the master branch, not from any other branch. He should not take code from any other branch and then do the changes, and should not do it, right? So whatever the changes he has done, it should be from the latest version of the production code. So that's what we have to do. Version 1, say for an example, first time you are deploying it, version 1. Again, we are doing it version 2, version 3, latest version. Okay, we'll have it. Say for an example, here, version 64. You assume that one code is like version 64.1 or something. So while running the UAT load, we will check it. Okay, whether version is matching. V64. Yes, we will check it. That means these versions are matching. We will run it. And this version is one more version, higher version. Like next version is, if you are going to deploy it, it will be a 65th version in the production. So that's what we will run it. If some teams, they are taking the production code and running in the UAT, okay, after masking the data, they will have the same version of production 2 here. They will run it. But the load runner, tester, uh, different project will have different kind of testing. They will be doing it. Okay. Clear on this? Any questions? How we will do all this agile methodology and everything? So I will explain the scheduler and complex mapping tomorrow. Deployment, this is what you have to explain them. ETL architecture. Okay, any questions? So if you ask me how the ETL, the mapping sheet looks like, so this is what it looks like, mapping sheet. Okay, like a source entity is nothing but table name, attribute is nothing but column name, then ETL logic, then it will be move on to the target column and target entity name. I have shared this particular document already, just to go through that. If you have any specific question, please ask me. I will answer now related to projects. I have already shared resumes. I will send it to you all the one more time if you need resumes as well as okay, the quiz and interview concepts, right? So I will send it to you one more time. I will update the interview questions and answers. I have already sent this particular document. So go through the document, and even if you want to do some changes, yes, you can do some changes here. And some kind of question they'll be asking it. I have collected some 100 questions, and you can go through this particular document. You'll get some idea. Okay, so what are the different question they might be asking it? If you are planning for any certifications, right, R34 certifications. Okay, R38. Sorry, R38 for Informatica Cloud. So is Jira is differ from IPC and IICS? No, it will not differ. Jira is a tool. That's it. Only the ETL tool we are differing it, right? That's what I have collected. Some of the IICS interview questions here, and 25 interview questions I have collected. I will give it to you, or I have already sent it to you. If not, I will send it to you today, just to go through that. Okay. So in what way your project is helping with the business intelligence? What kind of data you are loading that helps reporting? Yeah. If it is a banking, okay, if you are not able to complete task in a sprint, how it will be taken? Yeah, it's like if you are not able to complete the task in the sprint, you'll be having a stand-up call, right? A daily stand-up call. In the daily stand-up call, you are explaining, okay, where you are currently and why you are not able to proceed, right? So that you are going to explain to them, to the ETL lead or delivery managers or the client, then they will guide you. If you are not able to complete, Okay, it's like you might not have. It's a two different way. One is dependency. You are trying to complete, but dependent, you are not getting the data. Okay, data or approval or something. Then they will ask you to park. They will ask you to take some different task. So that is one thing. The other way is um, you are not able to complete it by some complex logic they have given. You are not able to code or something. Then they will check your performance, right? So 1 or 2 sprints they will check the performance. Based on that, they will uh, take the decisions accordingly. Okay. If you have millions of some US population records, how to load this to the staging layer? See, it is not only millions of populations record. Always you'll get millions of data only from the source. Okay. If you have more volume of data, that's what I told. If you are taking a lot of time, you can go for intraday load. Okay, you can suggest them instead of daily load for the performance, better performance. You can suggest to the team that instead of going for complete 1 day load, we have billions of data. We can go for something like intraday load. Intraday load. We can split up, right? Split up the data and we load it. But intraday load, again, it's like a design changes. We have to do a lot of analysis. So if I'm going to do intraday, what are the things I have to take care? If one load is not happening, how can I going to reload it? Okay, how can I catch up it? So you are getting some incorrect data because of this particular intraday load has been stopped. And how are we going to maintain it? If it is intraday load, if it is 4 hours, based on the batch date, you will be making the sequence number. Like 1 hour once load is happening, like 24 sequence per day. Whether first sequence completed, we will mark it in the table. Okay, we will check that. First sequence load has been completed. This many record has been loaded. We will check it, and then only we will go for the second sequence load. Okay, for the particular batch date. Without completing the second load, we will not proceed with the third sequence number. So we have to go for different design methodologies. We will define it, but always we'll get millions of data only. That is what we will load, truncate and load, right? We will millions of data. It is not an issue for IICS. It will load. If you have very huge volume of data, that's what we have to think in different way. Is it mandatory to get certification as a IICS developer? It is not mandatory. Okay. Some project, okay, if you are in US or some you are going for solution architect or higher role, if you have certification, it will be added advantage. But your knowledge is important. Okay, knowledge is important. The knowledge you have to do lot of practice. So how it will be useful for the business intelligence team, right? The business intelligence team, they are going to consume the data from the data warehouse, like all the business analytics. A lot of business reporting they are going to take, merchant reporting, different kind of reporting is consumed by the business. As I told, it's like a different teams, right? So risk and compliance team, core development team, like we have the regulatory team, marketing team, wealth management team. So different kind of reporting they'll be taking from the enterprise data warehouse only. That is what it helps business team to analyze the business. So I explain about dimension modeling you design in your project. So dimension model, we do have, you can explain them in our project. If you are very junior level, then no need to explain them. You can explain them already this dimensional model we have. Just we are going to load the data. We will create the tables, we will load the data. Okay, so if they're asking which dimensional model you have, you can explain them it's a snowflake model we have. Okay. So what are the limitations in IACS you are seeing when compared to Power Center? Okay, they will ask what are the advantages you are seeing, limitations you are seeing. Advantages, yes, it can connect with any cloud connectors. We have hundreds of connections it can able to establish, and you can get the data um, from APIs. It's very quickly and very easily, and you can connect with all the enterprise data lake environments by using Informatica IACS. But like limitations, yes, the migration we are facing a lot of limitations. Like we are not able to convert existing Informatica mapping to Informatica workflows to IACS one. Even only 50% is converting, even though they do have migration factory and everything. like it is not converting 100%. That limitations, and still IICS side they are improving it. A lot of improvement they are doing it, and looking at the repository queries and everything, we have to create a. If I want to check the repository tables and everything in Informatica Power Center, it's very easy, right? You can go to the repository queries, and even if you do not have access to the repository tables, you can give that particular query to the admin team. It might be an Informatica admin team, or it might be a database admin. Okay. If you're giving that query, they will execute it. They will give you the resultant. But here in IICS, if I want to get the details from the repository queries, you have to create a REST v2 connections. Okay. You have to create it. So from that mapping only, you have to execute it. Then it will pull the data from the Informatica server. That means your cloud server to our tables. That's what you have to get it. It's very limitations. Okay. I will send IACS interview questions as well as the quizzes. Like I do have some 100 quizzes I have already prepared. So that I will send it to you all. Okay. So this one I will send it to you. Just to go through that, you will get some idea. Okay. See here, which data integration transformation present in Power Center, not in cloud. So like a source transformation, right? Present in IACS, but not in Informatica. So the naming convention, right? And in IICS, we do not have any stored procedure transformation. Here we have, right? SQL transformation itself, it will have. So I will send this document, quizzes, and as well as this one. Can you send this document with answers? The answer only I'm discussing. Okay, if you are not able to, you have to complete it. We have discussed already all this. You just prepare your answers, okay, your own answers, and you can able to. That's what you can get your own. You'll be practicing it, and you will get more data here. Okay, I will send you the document. Interview questions and answers. Yes, I have 100 questions and answers. That also I will send it to you. It will be helpful for you to attend the interviews. Okay. Uh, I will I will write some answers for you and I will send it to you if you need. But I recommend you to fill these details. So why? Because if you do this, okay, if you do this, then can we get real time scenario? That's what. What is real time scenario? Whatever I have explained so far, that is real time scenario only. Okay. Real time environment we cannot expose to the outside. Okay, we cannot expose to the outside. Real time environment, whatever I'm explaining, those are all real time environment data only. Okay. As much as possible, I'm going to give you, no worries. Okay, so what is the difference between JSON file and XML file? Both are like hierarchical file format only. Okay, this is JavaScript object notation. This is XML, extension markup language, something will have, right? So that a difference. These are all source systems. Instead of getting the data like a relational model, they will send you data in the hierarchical model. Okay. So what will the hierarchical schema, you know already, synchronization, need some dimension table. Yeah, I have given the dimension table list. Need some fact tables. That list also I have given. Roles and responsibilities I have mentioned over there. Just I have explained yesterday and today. This one also I have explained. Okay. So why we are getting source as JSON or XML file? What is the advantage over the this one? See, these are all in the XML file or JSON file. It's like a hierarchical data model. Okay, like a columnar DB you do have, right? Columnar DB, no SQL DB you have. The same way here also we'll be getting the data like JSON file, XML file. CSV file is like relational model data. So that's what we used to get. Okay, the interview questions, whatever I have explained so far, just to prepare the text document. Okay, I have explained, right? So far, just to prepare by yourself. Instead of taking directly from here, you prepare it, whatever I have explained. That will be helpful for you to explain the interviews. Okay, that's why I haven't provided any uh, answers here. But if you need answers, I can give it. But that way it will not work out to the students. So you have to fill it. You just fill it, send it to me. I will send the answers. No worries. Okay, that way you can practice it more. Yeah, I understand. You are very new to IICS. That's why I'm giving more and more informations on the project related stuff. Okay.